Okay. And again, this webinar today, we're going to be talking about the templates for the template schedule, which uses the linear schedule. I'm going to show you how to create those templates, how to clean up the templates after the fact, and go through some of the different choices that you will have. So we are going to go ahead and just jump right into this. The way to get to your templates is from the File menu on the home screen of Management Plus under File, Template Scheduling, and then we're going to go down to the Scheduling Setup menu, and the templates are all set up under Procedures. Okay, regardless of the type of schedule you're using, whether it's template-based or resource-based, all of those procedures are stored in the same table. All right. So under this procedure maintenance, we are going to go in, and what we can see up at the top, of course, this is just a description box. So if I wanted to find all of the procedures for a specific doctor, I can do that by finding their initials, and it narrows out that search. Okay. Of course, you can show the deleted templates. The deleted templates are marked by this red X at the very beginning of the procedure name. Okay, it just shows you that those are deleted. Now, when we go into add a procedure, we can do that by right-clicking and doing add. When you do, there's a resource-based and a template-based. This webinar, we're going to focus just on the template-based procedures. Okay, you can also click on the add button over on the right side, and then it will ask you to choose resource-based or template-based again. So first thing I want to talk about is just the simple, how do you create a new template, okay? And then we'll talk about editing and canceling and setting expiration dates and things like that. So to just add a new template, we're going to add a new template-based procedure, and it's going to give us this window. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Hopefully you can kind of see it a little bit better. There we go. So with the template-based procedure, the very first thing that we're going to do is create a procedure name. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to just create a procedure name for special testing. Okay, if I have multiple physicians, it is a good idea to put the doctor's names, or I'm sorry, to put the doctor's initials at the beginning of the procedure, because when you're looking at this huge list behind, you can kind of see back here, if you just had special testing or exam or emergency, down here at the bottom where you see the emergency, we don't know which doctor those are for. So if you have multiple physicians, go ahead and put their initials at somewhere in this procedure name, at the beginning, at the end. I personally think at the beginning is a little easier when your staff is looking at the schedule and they are trying to, find a place for an exam or a new patient or special testing or whatever. Okay. Then we have the procedure time. This procedure time is not really how long is each appointment for this particular procedure, but rather how often do I want to be able to schedule this type of appointment. So what I mean is, if I wanted to be able to schedule special testing every 15 minutes, I would put my procedure time as 15. That's going to give me 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, and so on. If I wanted to be able to schedule this every 5 minutes, even though those patients will be there longer than just 5 minutes, then I want to put my procedure time as 5. So this procedure time controls your availability when you're thinking of an 8 to 5 or whatever your office hours are. It's going to give you those increments of time every hour. So if you get into your schedule and if we just started at 10 minutes and you wanted to 8, 8:10, 8:20, 8:30, if you want that 8:35 appointment, you're going to have to change that to 5 minutes. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 5 just so I can show you how you do have full control over when the procedures are available to be scheduled. If we don't give it a number of procedures, it won't show up. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. So we have to choose a staff physician. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to find Dr. Jones in here. Okay, he's going to be our staff doctor. So the next screen down we have, or the next section down, we have availability, CPT codes, and exceptions. We're really going to focus just on this availability tab. Okay, so if we right-click and we add, we can go in and add new availability for the special testing procedure. Okay? First thing we need to do is say, what office will this be in? Okay, this one's going to be in Taylorsville. And the start time, we're just going to go ahead and do 8 to 5, even though he may not see this procedure all day long. It just allows you that flexibility so you don't have to edit as much later on. If we were to put, 12 p.m., it will only give us the option down here at the bottom to book from 8 to noon. Okay? Now, the other thing I want to mention in here, if I wanted my last appointment to be at 12 o'clock, okay, you see down here at the bottom, the last one it gives me is 11:55. This stop time is saying I want to be done with patients by 12 p.m. So my last appointment that is available to be booked is 5 minutes prior to that because it's a 5-minute procedure. So if I wanted my last appointment to actually be at 12, then I need to put my stop time 5 minutes after the last appointment. So now I have that 12 o'clock down here at the bottom. Okay. So always go 5 minutes later, or the procedure time, you need to go that amount of time later than what you want your last appointment to be. Okay. If you have questions on that, let me know. I know it's a little, it can be confusing. Okay. All right, start date. Now, if maybe this doctor, I can leave it at today. It always defaults to the current day that you're creating this template. If I don't want to start this procedure until August 1st, I can put August 1st in there. Maybe this Taylorsville office won't be open until then, or we're waiting on equipment, or whatever the case is. You have full control over your start date. The stop date is not required unless you are wanting to say, you know what, we're only going to test this special testing procedure for the month of August. It's only going to let me book that procedure for the month of August. So the stop date can be, if the doctor decides to end a specific procedure, you can go end it on that date. If you're kind of a trial thing and you're only going to do this for the month of August or the month of December when maybe it's a little bit slower, you have that control, but it is not required. Okay? So then we get into our availability type. There's 3 choices. You have daily, which is where I can say every day or every 3 days, only on the weekdays. Okay, so you have that option. The most common and the default setting is weekly. So every week on the following days, okay, whatever boxes we checked are the day it's going to show on that schedule. So maybe he's only going to do this special testing on Fridays. Okay, he's only going to go to Taylorsville on Fridays for this special testing. The other option is monthly. So this is a good tool for when you have physicians that, the second Tuesday of every month, they happen to go to this location to do special testing, or, the 4th, 5th, the last, any day of the week. So you have those choices when you need to. It is good for surgery days when it's, the second Tuesday of the month he's here, but the 3rd Tuesday of the month he's here. You can go set these procedures up accordingly. All right? So for the purpose of this, I'm going to keep it easy. I'm just going to come back over here to weekly, and we're just going to do Fridays. All right? Now, for special testing, he wants to see patients every 15 minutes, except for the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to mix it up a little bit. So down at the bottom, you have number of procedures. Okay? What we're going to do is we're actually going to type in the number of procedures he wants to see at that particular time. So at 8 o'clock, we're just going to put in the number 1. Okay? He doesn't want to see anything at 8:05, 8:10. We're going to put 1 at 8:15. And we're just going to go every 15 minutes for the first hour. Okay? Now, all of these lines that are blank that do not have a value, those will not show up on the schedule because we have not given it a number of procedures for that particular time. All right? So then we're going to come in at 9 o'clock. He wants to have every 10 minutes a patient come in. Now, when you're going through this, you can use your mouse and then click in each box that you want to type in, or you can use your down arrow on the keyboard and then the 10 key, and it tends to be a little bit faster, okay? So now we have every 10 minutes during the 9 o'clock hour, and then at 10 o'clock we're going to go back to every 15 minutes, okay? And then we're just going to kind of finish out the day. We're going to do 11:15, and then we're going to skip over to 11:45, and then we'll have the last one at 12. All right? So if I wanted, 3 appointments to be available at 12 p.m., I type in the number 3, and that will give me 3 12 o'clock time slots for this particular procedure. All right? If not, we can just leave it blank, and it will not show up. So once we click OK, we've added availability up here, and it shows location is Taylorsville. The availability detail is every week on Fridays. If it was multiple days, it would show Monday, Tuesday, Friday, or whatever we selected. The times are 8 to 12:05, starting August 1st. Now, the reason this is in green is because this is a future date, okay? Then we have the procedures down here, we have 8 o'clock, we have 1 procedure, 8:15, 1, 8:30, 1. That's what that line means, all right? Now, at this point, I could be done with this special testing, okay? I can go out to my schedule for Taylorsville for this doctor, and I'm going to see this special testing procedure. If I wanted to, I can come in and add, and maybe he's going to do this at the main office on Friday afternoons. Okay, and we're just going to go through 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We're just going to pick Fridays. But he's not going to start until 1:30, and he's only going to do every 30 minutes. So we can come in and just find our 30-minute appointments and put 1 procedure every 30 minutes until we'll go till, 4, 4:30, whatever doctor wants. All right, we'll stop at 4:30. Okay. So now it's going to show, let me get out of there, it's going to show the main office every Friday from 1 to 5, starting today, and then Taylorsville every Friday from 8 to 12, but that's not starting until August 1st. So the schedule is going to reflect that as soon as we go out and look at it. Okay? You can add as many, you can add different locations, different days of the week, all in this one procedure because the procedure is the same, the doctor's the same. We're just setting up the different locations of where he's going to see those patients. All right? So when you come in here, I'm just going to right-click and edit one. Down at the bottom, you can view other procedures, and it's going to show you any other procedures that are set up for that location for that procedure. Okay? And it's really just so you can print out just this one template. All right? That's what that is for. We click OK out of here. And then down at the bottom, we have a preview. So if we were to click on that preview, I'll move this over a little bit for you. And we're going to go to Taylorsville, and we're going to go out to August 1st. Okay, here's our special testing template. Now if I change my location to the main office on Friday, then in the afternoon, we should have these new special testing procedures. All right. To make this a little easier to see and distinguish different procedures, we can assign colors. And there's 2 color choices. You can have a color when the procedure is available, and then a separate or the same color once that procedure is scheduled. So when we saw this just now, they were all white. Okay, so if we go out to a Friday, all of these special testing, these are all just white. Okay, if I said when it's available, I want it to be a specific color. Okay, from this drop down, you have a list of a few colors. If you click on the button on the right side, the 3 little dots, then you get this color grid. And you can actually go a step further and say define custom colors, and then you can get as creative as you would like. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do, find this blue, and it's too dark, so I'm going to lighten it just a little bit, and we're going to go with this color. Okay, add to custom, here's our color, and click OK. And maybe I want the scheduled appointments to be that same color so that my staff, when they're looking at it, they know that this kind of lavender color, I guess, is for special testing. Okay? Easiest way to match those exactly yeah, you can come out here and, click on this and try to match it up this way. But the easiest way is when you come over here to your little button and do Define Custom Colors. Okay, the numbers right here, the 174.174.225, those three numbers go in this red, blue, green column. So if we type 174.174.255, that is going to be exactly the same color, and I don't have to play around with the color wheel to try and match it up that way. Okay. The font, you can also choose a different color font. So if I wanted, green letters on the purple background, you can play with that. All right. The default is black, so even when it says color not selected, you do not have to come click on black. It's going to default to black anyway. And then, of course, there's a clear button if you want to clear it and start over. So now, if we go to preview this, we're just going to pull this up for a second. We're going to come over here to the 27th, and then we scroll down, and let me save it first. That will help. Here's our procedure. Now let's try to look at it. Okay, there's the purple special testing procedures every 30 minutes at the main office. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. Here's our special testing procedures, and we can kind of differentiate from the physicals, discussions, and so on. Okay, so we just created a template. Now, what we would do is we would just go in, as you can see, and create this, do the same function, the same thing for any procedures that you want to have at specific times. Okay, so I'm going to kind of back out of here for just a second and show you this list, and we're actually going to use, we'll do Dr. Jones. Okay, just to kind of look at this list and see the different types of appointments we've created for Dr. Jones. So we've created a consult. Okay, we've created, there's a pre-check, there's a follow-up, there's a new patient, there's a post-op. Even though the type of procedure, these are resource-based schedule, the template works the same way. We can go in and create different appointment types, and that's how we get all of the different procedures in one day. Okay. Let me see if we pull up, here's another one, TLJ. I'm going to sort these. So our templates are all down here at the bottom. Okay, we have a 1-week post-op, cataract discussion, a complete physical, complete with visual field, just a generic exam. There's our special testing we just created, the wellness check, no procedures, and then a follow-up. So you guys can create your schedule however you'd like. If we go into any of these, we're going to see the availability for this particular, so this exam, okay, every 15 minutes, Dr. Jones. When you're looking at this, all of the red lines mean those are old or expired templates. You can see over here in the date column, we have 7/27/13 to 7/27/13. So this is only good for one day. They only use this template one day. This one, we used it for one day on 9/25. This is January 30th. You can keep these in here for history, that's fine, or you can right-click, and when you do cleanup, that is going to ask you, are you sure you want to clean up or delete all expired procedure availability? I'm going to click yes. All right. Now, that's going to go through, and it's going to clean up all of those old procedures. Okay. Now I'm left with my current, which is was started 7/17/13, and it's every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 8 to 5, and here are my appointment times. Now, on 7/21/2014, we added an extra appointment at each of those times, so it's going to give me 2. Okay, for that one day, I'm going to have 2 appointments every 15 minutes instead of just 1 for this exam. Okay. As far as adding templates, that's really all we need to do is just come in and say, this is where the doctor is, this is the time he starts, this is the time we're done, this is the day of the week, I want to have this particular procedure. Okay? So if I wanted to change this, so maybe, let's just go in and actually, we're going to tweak this one. So I'm going to right-click and edit. Okay, this is the one that starts on July 21st. I'm going to go ahead and take out my stop date. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of Saturday and Sunday because I don't want to see patients on Saturday and Sunday. And actually, we're going to get rid of Friday as well. Okay, now here, we're going to start out with 2 8 o'clocks, and we're going to go 2 9 o'clocks and 2 10 o'clocks. We'll see one patient for the rest of the afternoon, and then I'm going to see 2 just at the top of every hour until 3. Okay, so I just changed what's going to happen starting July 21st. Save that. Now, we have this existing procedure out here that started a year ago. Okay, it's Monday through Friday. I'm going to go in and edit this, and I'm going to stop this one on July 20th. That way, my new procedure schedule can come into effect on July 21st. So I'm going to expire this one right before my new one starts. Now, any appointments that are booked already using this template, the existing current template, those appointments will still stay on this schedule. What this is going to do is it's going to essentially remove any available or unscheduled appointment times from the schedule using this criteria, and then it's only going to reflect this criteria. This is kind of an easy one because all we did was we went in and added appointments throughout the day. We added 6 appointment times throughout the day. So this template is going to override the previous one. Okay? Now on 721, this line that I have highlighted in blue is going to turn into the red text. So that indicates again that it is an expired procedure, and you can go in and delete it or clean up. Those are really the same thing. The cleanup just is supposed to do all of them at once, where delete, you have to delete them one at a time. Okay? If we wanted to preview it, we can go out, you know, and pick any day and view that procedure. Okay, it's going to pull all of the procedures that have been set up. Here's our 999, here's our Anderson, our complete with visual field, the exam throughout the entire day. Okay, so that's kind of the purpose of expiring and cleaning up. It just helps you keep everything clean. When you have 17 of these in one screen, it's a lot to look at. This cleanup was added just to make it a little bit easier to find what it is you're looking for. Okay. Now, one other thing, when you go into preview, there is a copy day 2 button. Okay. This copy, it has to be a previously used template. So this will work because this has been around for a year now. Now maybe I want to copy everything on this day. He's going to work one Saturday a month, okay, and he's going to start that on August 9th. He's going to work the second Saturday of every month. So what I would do is click my Copy Day 2 button. It's going to copy every single procedure in this list, okay, and it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to copy this entire template to August 9th of 2014? I click yes. It's going to copy and create one line for August 9th for every one of those procedures. Okay? So if I were to go into my complete with visual field, I would have one for August 9th. Here it is right here. I have it highlighted in blue. See, it's kind of hard to see when there's so much in here. It's definitely worth it to go through and spend the few minutes or even the hour or whatever and clean up your procedures. Here's my August 9th. Even though this is not the one I was in when I copied, it does copy everything from that day to a day in the future. Okay? So just so you know, that's what that Copy Day 2 is for. You can see down at the bottom, here's an example of when it's available, it's green. Once it is scheduled, it turns gray. So you can do it that way if you'd like. Real quick, just to kind of wrap this up as far as creating the templates, up at the top you have a CPT code tab. Okay? With this CPT code, this is where you can go in and add codes, or in this case we'll just edit. Okay? What this is for is if you'd like to be able to project revenue based on the procedures that were scheduled for the month, you can do it in here. We have our billing entity of physicians group, 99212. Modifiers, we don't, that doesn't drive the price. It's going to be that CPT code that does. So what this does is there's a report. Close out of here for just a second. There's a report in template scheduling report. Sorry, it's not in that menu. It's right here, month at a glance. Okay, this is going to show you all of the procedures that are scheduled for the month of, in this case, June. Okay, you have two buttons over here on the top left corner. The first one is show me the number of procedures. The next one is your $sign. This is the show procedure expected revenue. So if you have those CPT codes set up, then it's going to say, well, this is what we're projecting, your expected revenue for the month of June based on the CPT codes you've assigned to that possible procedure. Okay, of course, it's not a guarantee you'll get paid this. It's just your projected revenue based on those CPT codes. You might not use a 99212 for a complete with visual field. There might be other codes associated with it, or doctor decides to use, a 92002 or whatever the case. Down at the bottom, it gives you your totals, so you can see the total projected revenue for the month, but that's what those CPT codes are for. Okay, so we're going to come back in, template scheduling, scheduling setup, and procedures. Well, let's see, where did find our procedure? Oh, we're going to go back to our special testing. There it is. Okay, so that's what the CPT code is for. The exceptions, this is where you can block the procedure, not the physician, not the location, but just this procedure for specific days. So, for example, he's actually going to be out of the office on September 26th. Okay, so we want to block this particular procedure only on September 26th, and we want to block it from 8 to 5, and we're just going to say he's out of the office. What that's going to do is when we go out to view September 26th, we should not have any special testing because we've blocked that procedure because doctor won't be there. Okay, maybe he's going to still go to the main office that day, but he's not going to go to the Taylorsville office. Or whatever the case is, you can also block those procedures. Okay. The other thing this exception is for, let me close this. I'm going to just pull up my schedule for a second. So when I'm looking at my schedule, and we're going to go out to August 1st, if I right-click and I block, he's called me and said I'm not going to come in until I choose the right physician and the right location. There we go. He calls and says, I'm not going to start till 9 o'clock that day. When I'm looking at the schedule, I can right-click and I can block that procedure and block the procedure so that I'm blocking all of those 8 o'clock appointments. Okay, now I'm going to start my schedule at 9 just for that day. Okay, something came up, whatever the case, he wants to leave early, you can right-click and block that procedure. Okay, those procedure exceptions that we just did are stored in the procedures under special testing. Okay, under exceptions, here we go. Here, August 1st, we blocked the 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, and the 11:45. If I accidentally blocked it, I didn't mean to, I can right-click and I can delete that exception, and it will put my 11:45 appointment back on my schedule. Okay, so those are the different things that you can do with availability. Like I said, that cleanup is definitely worth it. As you saw when we went into one of these other procedures, it is a lot to look at when you just have everything in there for all time that's ever been in there. Let's find this one. Okay, there's a lot of red. Remember, the red is past appointment availability, green is future, black is the current. All right, so this is what we're currently seeing on a weekly basis. And then we have a few green exceptions. If you right-click, clean that up, it's going to get rid of all of the red lines. Okay, and sometimes, you have to do it twice, but then we're left with just the current and the future. Okay, and remember, when you put that stop date, it does not affect any scheduled appointments. It's just going to pick up with your new availability in addition to what has already been scheduled. Okay? So as far as how to create templates, that's really it. You can come in, remember, just specify what office, what hours are we working, and then down at the bottom, you're putting the number of procedures you want to have available at that particular time. Okay? I do not see any questions that have come in. If you do have questions, please let us know. You can email or call support. We'll be happy to answer those for you. I hope this was helpful. I do appreciate your time today and hope everyone has a great afternoon. Thanks so much. Bye.